be saved from Egypt? Question ta fẹ́ lọ lé nìyẹn. Bàbá kan ta fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ Jésù wọn wà, so mo fẹ́ kí bàbá yẹn dé. Kí ni why the Israelites needed to be saved in Egypt? What happened to them? Dealings. Ìbéèrè yẹn pàkà fún.
Well, kò sí mi mọ
Ah,
ọkùnrin wọn sí ọ wà under slavery ní Egypt.
Okay, all were under slavery. Why did they need savings?
Why they were there? Tẹ́ bá wo storyline wọn according to the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
It started from the, Jacob àtàwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ méjìlá.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so wọ́n dẹ̀ gbà tí èèyàn gbẹlẹ̀ wà lọ́dọ̀ wọn. They sojourn in search for food. A lot of things happened. Joseph was thrown into the he was sold as a slave, and then ní slavery tó wà. I don't know if you want to hear all those stories. Ní slavery tó wà, Joseph pass oríṣiríṣi làkọjá. Ó dẹ̀ di at the end of the day ó di igbákejì ọba, ó di prime minister. And then àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ tó tà sí oko ẹrú nínú ìrìn àjò ẹ̀. Mo ti kọjá, stop me, but no problem, okay. Àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ tó tà sí oko ẹrú nínú ìrìn àjò ẹ̀. Gbà tí ìyàngbẹ́lẹ̀ náà wà tó ń wá oúnjẹ, tó ń wá oúnjẹ fún àwọn ẹranko àǹkó. Wọn ò ní choice than kó lọ sí ìlú Egypt. Ìgbà tó ń lọ tí wọ́n fàyè gbà wọn tí gbogbo story tí Joseph ṣe reveal ara ẹ̀ fún wọn tí wọ́n mọ tí wọ́n pàdé bàbá ẹ̀ tí gbogbo storyline yẹn lọ. Bí eré àwọn èèyàn Jacob gbogbo ìlú wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń tẹ̀dó sí wọ́n migrate wá sí Egypt because Egypt had plenty through the help of through the revelation that was the dream that through the role that Joseph played. So then a lot of àwọn ará ìlú Jacob wọ́n move wá sí Egypt. Wọ́n gbòòrò ńbẹ̀, wọ́n gbilẹ̀ ńbẹ̀. Over time ọba míì ń jẹ. Some generations after, many generations after, ọba tó wà ńbẹ̀, ọba Pharaoh tó wà ńbẹ̀ kò mọ Joseph. Ó dẹ̀ rí pé àwọn ọmọ Israeli wọ́n ní agbára, wọ́n ní okun àtagbára láti ṣiṣẹ́. Ó dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lò wọ́n lẹ́rú, and they stood there and they were used as slavery for a very long time.
Ẹjọ́ àwọn ẹni sùúrù náà. So nǹkan tá à ń sọ ni pé why did the akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá wa mú tẹ̀ má bínú. Nǹkan tá à ń sọ ni pé why did the Israelites need savings from Egyptians? And why did they need savings from Egyptians?
Because they were working as slaves. They were slaves
they were slaves
using them as slaves.
Actually, fún wa ní Bible verse àti reference àti fact about pé bẹ́ẹ̀ni pé they were actually slaves.
I am driving right now, but the whole essence of Israelites were slavery. Is there in Exodus? I'm driving right now. I don't know.
It's evidence that they are slaves in Egypt, based on what you said.
You
said
in the Bible.
They were hungry, starving. They sold their brother.
They migrated over to Egypt, and generations after, the king of Egypt used them as slavery because they were living in Egypt. That's their land.
Evidence where the king is using them for slavery. Number one, you said they migrated. I migrated to UK. I migrated to UK because of my lack of education or anything. Even I'm educated for survival because I'm hungry. When I get to UK, I started Munkogbe. Is that a slavery? Even though it can't intention me, but I need to survive based on what Christianity brought to my land. They brought agony to my land. So I need to go out of my land and survive. So, because Christianity brought agony to Yoruba land. So the battle debate here is okay. Now I went to the UK.
Can I speak to what you just said?
I went to the UK. When I get to the UK, right? I started doing old jobs, living in the streets, or I was in France, anywhere, living under trampoline, sleeping under bridges, you know. Even to get something to eat, I need to go and beg, or even kamakogbe, the jobs that is not even meant for a sane person. Now, am I a slavery or am I surviving? Did they take me as slave or did I use my leg to migrate to that economy?
From the analogy you just made now, you are surviving. You're working to survive.
Okay. Did in Bible, can you tell me where Egyptians is it by conquest, by people they attacked the Israelites and took them for slavery, or ideologically assimilating? Sorry, to take somebody for slavery, you don't need to attack them. Christians and Muslims are slave. The one are slave to the Arabs and one are slave to the British Empire. Now, you can assimilate them ideologically and enslave them even without them knowing. And you can force them by sword. That's the two kind of conquest term. So, peaceful conquest, two ideologies or hard conquest. Now, can you tell me in any verse where Egypt used peaceful conquest, which they preach their God, tell them to assimilate into the Egyptian, integrate them to the Egyptian cosmology or traditions, or attack them? Or in the Bible, did they willingly, because they are hungry and God of Abraham refused to produce food to them, all they had to do is to migrate to Egypt for food? Which one of the three is correct according to the Bible? Get
Number
it?
one, all these your points were off the storyline. Number one.
Okay, tell us what the
Number
storyline is.
two, you have to be when you are speaking about historical events or biblical events, the timeline is very important. No, you just said that slavery is by art taking conquest or peaceful conquest. There are different kind of slavery. Whether you are being literal or you are being philosophical or metaphorical, mental slavery. That let me go back to the story. I don't want to preach for long.
So nǹkan tí mò ń béèrè jẹ́ links, ṣé wọ́n migrate fún wọn because they are hungry, or were they taken by force, or
They
preach
because they
Egyptian?
migrated in search of food. People
And
migrate in
also,
search
if
of
they
fast
migrate
food.
in search of food, why did they need savings? Because they go there by themselves because of food, breads.
Bro, there is timeline to events. There is time.
Okay,
That
fún wa bí wọ́n ṣe take
calm
àwọn
down,
Egypt as
please
slavery
hold on.
again with
For
timelines and
example,
evidence.
yeah, that timeline to event. The purpose of moving was migration, and that migration happened all over the world for pastures, for settlements, for farming. That is not new. The Israelites migrated in search of pastures. They found because of the prime minister Joseph, they were able to settle there, and they move in mass. The same way migration happened till tomorrow. People move in mass when they are welcome in a place. Now, when they are staying there, generations upon generations comes, then they have a new leader, a new pharaoh who saw that these people are growing in numbers and they are useful. Then because the country or the wherever is still Egypt, is still theirs. What do? They decide to exploit them. So now, because they are going
James,
off the
ẹjọ ẹ má bínú pé
what you are trying to say now,
James,
hold
ẹjọ ẹ
on,
má
sir.
bínú pé mo cut yín
Hold on,
short.
sir. Okay. I don't know if.
Oh, mo ti mute ẹni kì í hold on, mo ti mute but oníkan tó fẹ́ sọ fún yín
Okay.
pẹ̀lú nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń sọ yẹn but ẹ fi ẹ délẹ̀ ẹ má bínú ẹ délẹ̀ máa dá yín lò.
So now they were there by now. Ìjọba mi take over. Take over. I'm surprised I'm talking about these stories because it's just like every country till tomorrow they are making regulations taking advantage of people. Migration laws are changing. That's the same thing that happened. You don't use 2025 to describe the Bible days. Now it's so that the Israelites were growing stronger and stronger. Slavery is different. Is that different kind of variation per timeline. Àwọn kan wọ́n kógun wá bá àwọn kan wọ́n kógun wá bá àwọn kan willingly. There are stories of Isaac. There are stories of warriors in the Bible where àwọn kan fẹ́ bá jà pé àwọn lè ẹ máa win wa. Because they affect Ashamashe. We will be your slave. We will serve your God. So these are normal things. Yes, sir.
Cherry, what else on you? Okay, what is the name of the?
But that's the base of Exodus.
According to
yes,
Bible, save my people, let my people go. My people were slavery. So I want to save my people from slavery. I promise them land. Now we don't agree with that. In the first place, for you to be a slave, for Yoruba people to be a slave to the English people, they come to our land.
Wait, calm down.
No. For Yoruba people to become slaves, you know, Yoruba Christians to become slaves to the British Empire, you know. Now, Benny, now you are a slave to the British Empire now. So for Yoruba Christians to become slaves to the British Empire, they come to our land, they deceive you, they sold their ideology to you, not even with guns, what ideology of Christianity, then you automatically become apologia of the British Empire. You become their slaves. Now, we can see that historical event. In the Bible, the Egyptians never assimilate the Israelites ideologically or preach anything or force them or take them to beat. Okay, if you don't accept Amura as your Lord and Savior, they will put you in a fire. Number one. Number two, there is no historical war between Israelites and Egypt in any form that they took them as slaves. Even for that long, before Moses, they never fight any war. And they never, Israel never said they went to Egyptian go and raid anything, or even when they are leaving, that Egyptian go and raid them in their house or unalive them. There's nowhere Egypt went to the settlement of Israelites and unalive them, did anything to them, until Moses committed a crime in the Bible. Now, if you now say your argument is timeline, maybe and a Pharaoh rise and said that they want to decide to take the Israelites as slaves, turn them to slaves because they are not living in the land. Now, give us the name of the Pharaoh and give us, when you have a slave, there's purpose of a slavery. Use them for work. To use láti lò wọ́n fún nǹkan kan. Ìgbà tí wọ́n kó wa bàbá wa lẹ́rú, wọ́n lò wọ́n fún plantations, you know. They build roads, build everything. Ìgbà táwọn Arab tí wọ́n kó àwọn bàbá náà lẹ́rú, wọ́n lò wọ́n fún wọ́n bá wọn sùn, wọ́n gé oko wọn, wọ́n fi wọ́n gbé ìrèké. This is Arab slave trade. Now, what was the Israelites used for? Give me the name in the Bible of that Pharaoh. Number one. Number two, give me evidence how he did that. And what did they use the Israelites to build or to do? According to Bible. So, thank you.
See, first and foremost, you kept on conflicting these eras, but no problem. According to the time, the leader, the king of Egypt is Pharaoh. Please,
Mike in on, Mike in on. But Jailins, you. Continue, Jailins.
Yeah, thank you. So first and foremost, timeline. The king of Egypt at the time is Pharaoh. Even to tomorrow, they're still using Pharaoh. Yes, they might have a personal name. The Bible did not specify the personal name. All those there was commentaries have been written and the names of pharaohs were written up. That's by the way for me. The leader, the king of Pharaoh of Egypt is known as Pharaoh. Now at the time, the major in Egypt, it was during the time of Joseph, it was clearly written. They have farming. They store barns for cattle, for sheep, and all. At the time, that is the work they were doing. Having a barn is that the storage silos for grains, for people to feed on, for animals to feed on. That's the work they do. So and it is written in the Bible like that. So now when you're saying what slavery, there was no war. And I never said there was a war in which Egypt invaded Israel. I said they are migrating. These days too, we are all migrating. And when you want to travel Niger, we have the Igbo saying they want to go. Slavery is not always about warfare. When there are migrations, when the economic condition is not working, when you are being subjugated, when Martin Luther King was fighting for for freedom, they were working, but they were being used. Even as at the time Martin Luther King was fighting for blacks, they've ended slavery. They've ended slavery, but the blacks does not have the same rights. They keep on fighting. So that slavery is not always by warfare, just like you have explained. It's not always by even peaceful surrender. Now you are my slave. No. As long as there is exploitation.
Jailins, ẹjọ ẹ má bínú, mo máa ní láti kọ́ mi ìsìn torí mo lè má pẹ́ di bíbá, but mo ní láti dá yín lóhùn fún nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń sọ látẹ̀kàn because mo ti gbọ́. Ṣó ti ẹ má bínú pé mo cut in short, but I need to give you facts so that we don't just perambulate around. Let me explain something to you. Number one, I want to put mo fẹ́ fi ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń pè ní Yahweh tẹ́ pè ní God ẹ jẹ́ ń fi sí character kan. Mo fẹ́ get analysis mi right.
Ẹ má bínú, ṣe kúrò ní sórí Egypt, ẹ fẹ́ bọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ Yahweh báyìí.
Mi kúrò lórí Egypt, ibẹ̀ náà ni mo wà. Ẹni sọ ibẹ̀ ni mo wà. But I analyse both character ẹ̀ ń sìn ayé yín sìn nǹkan tí mo sọ. There is who they call the Yahweh, they understand. Ẹ jẹ́ ká mú yẹn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan. Now there is a Pharaoh, Abi, that we are discussing about. That's another character, secondly. There's the people of Egypt, their rights, their citizenship, their indigenship, and who they are. Ìyẹn náà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan. Where I am going for you is number one, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú òdodo ẹ̀rí tó wà nílẹ̀. The only account tó ń sọ fún yín wípé migration or whatever reasons took them to Egypt or whatever is the Bible. But outside that Bible, from archaeological experts like Ben Joseph Yochanan, tẹ́ bá gbọ́ orúkọ ẹ̀dá rẹ lọ wá lórí YouTube kẹ́ lọ ka ìwé ẹ̀. Àwọn yẹn, there is no different from people like Sheikh Anta Diop. It's no different from the likes of Frantz Fanon. These are the people that I read their book to know the truth. And I'm mentioning them for people like you to go and read it. Because their work is based on...
Yes, sir. I'm not stopping you. I want to ask, are these three names that you mentioned, are they the only archaeologists that spoke on this issue?
They are not the only archaeologists.
There are other ones. You just chose these ones, right?
Their work and whatever they have done. Any suru, all the things that they have done, because what you are asking me is to debunk them, as I would also debunk the Bible. But that's not the concept of reason I'm telling you. You cannot base your truth only on one. Ilé ayé gan ọmọ Yorùbá gan wọ́n ní tibitiri la ní ilé ayé ọ̀nà kan wọjà lọ́n wí. Ṣé ó ti yé yín? So a lè fi ọ̀nà kan júwe ibi tí ọjà ń lọ at any time. It's philosophically grounded. Now, ibi tí mo lọ lélẹ̀. Let me tell you what Pharaoh did. This is the way I interpreted whatever is written in that Bible. Òun ló ń ṣe láàrin ọmọ Yorùbá àtàwọn ọmọ Igbo presently. On my great débẹ̀, wọ́n jẹun falala, wọ́n ṣe bó ṣe wọ́n as Israelites. I'm agreeing with you ni o because èmi ò agree pé Israelites wà ń bẹ̀ mo ní evidence yẹn. So there were, even in Egypt, you would not go to Egypt on their walls and their recording. They don't know who is Moses. Neither do they know any Israelite or any story of such in the same present day Egypt that is there today. But I want to agree with you. So that's why I put Yahweh as a character in this. You see where I'm getting to. Let me now say this. Pharaoh tẹ́ ń sọ yẹn, nǹkan tó ṣe lélẹ̀, ó jí láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan wò pé nílùú mi, àwọn èèyàn mi, wọn ò máa ríṣẹ́ ṣe mọ́. Wọ́n ṣe bóyá ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ àwọn ará àlejò máa ti gbà lú mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ kẹ̀. That is what they call conservatism. Ó dẹ̀ wò pé mo gbọ́dọ̀ jàfẹ́tọ̀ àwọn èèyàn mi. I must push these people to the limit. Now, ajagunbalẹ̀ kan tó pè ní Yahweh. Ó wá wò pé to prove myself of the chosen people that I call my children. Tí ò kéta fún tó jẹ́ kán sá kúrò nílùú wọn, kán á máa jẹun lu ẹlòmíì. Tí ò lè pèsè fún wọn tó pèrè ní almighty whoever that can provide at any time. Kò fún wọn lóúnjẹ, wọ́n wá sí Israel, wọ́n wá débẹ̀. Ó wá wò pé let me now prove myself to these people in this place tí mo kọ́ àwọn ọmọ mi lọ. Wípé èmi ni alátìlẹyìn wọn, èmi la jagunbalẹ̀ tó ń gbalẹ̀ everywhere tó ń pààyàn for anybody. He now decided that, okay, 20 million children of Egyptians must die. All in the name to prove power. And you people support this thing. But if me and you are talking on politics and talk about the likes of Adolf Hitler, Queen Elizabeth, King Leopold, all of you will say they are evil people. Or is it that when the divine does something wrong, we will tell the divine that the divine is okay, but when the human does it, it is bad? Please, my brother Jennings, like him a bit around the bush, was straightforward. There's nothing to argue about. The only evidence that proves Egyptians, Israelites were captured as slaves is the Bible. No archaeological evidence from all experts in the world proves it so.
Mr. Kikoju, hold on. I like your point. I like your point because I'm also illiterate. I'm an educated person. So now, there's this popular saying with the right bias, you will see the narrative you are looking for. Everything you just said now, they are logical narrative that is just explain migration and subjugation. They are normal. It's a logical narration. And do I agree with you? Because I don't need to argue to disagree with what you just said now, because you have not even indicted anything. You have not indicted the Bible. Now, I agree with you the fact that Egypt does not have any record of Israelites coming to them since the Bible. As at the time of the Bible, is there any record of the Egypt? Does even Egypt have the record of how the pyramids were built? There was a timeline into this thing. Egypt do not have the record. Hold on now. This man,
go ahead.
I'm corroborating what he's saying and clarifying things. So I am learned enough to understand his narrative, to say with any bias you can make a narrative, and the narrative is not wrong. Why? Because he did not indict anything. But I also know that there is no Egypt that we have today does not have any record of Israelites. Egypt that we have today does not even have a record of how pyramids was built. That was a timeline. So first and foremost, just like we have clarified how Israelites got into there, he likened them to Igbos and Yoruba. I agree with the analysis. It's possible. It's normal. See, I used to say something about the Bible to you people. Bible did not glorify or saint or whitewash any Bible characters. It is logical to say, okay, I want Israeli Egypt. It's a logical statement. Go indict anything. From everything they say now, I don't say anything indicting there because they're normal narrative. Only Egypt, yes, let's use them. There's nothing wrong in it. I don't know what is wrong.
I want to ask you: are Palestine being enslaved now or not? Palestinians, are they being enslaved now or not?
This is a very good question.
Yeah, fair analogy. I'm asking you a direct question. Sherry, we are going to the salvation of Jesus Christ, actually. But I want to understand.
Wait, now you're talking about Palestine
being enslaved now? Because, and I want to correct you for something. You said there's no record. Calm down.
Are they being
there's no record of
Are they being stiffened? I would say yes.
Now, J-Links in conversation. I want to ask you a direct question. Are Egyptian white or black?
Egyptians were black according to the Bible description.
When you get to Egypt now, are they white or black?
They are still black people. What's up?
Are they white or black in majority? Are they white or black?
Egypt is Africa now. They are black now.
You're kidding Baba in so now. Egypt
Baba.
Are Egypt Arabs now or
Arab is not white now. Are they white? Kill everything so. Say white.
So, I will let it pass.
Maybe
Arabs are classified as white.
That's not true.
They are white.
China and Asia is not even white. China is not white.
Okay, who are white? China white. They say, China.
Are they white? No, Akara, are you saying
Everything Baba is saying,
And
so
you
our
want to
Japanese are not
classify
white.
wọn sí yẹn kí lẹ̀ ń sọ?
Akara, are you
Ṣé
saying they
ìjà
are
wọn
white
gbé
now?
ni?
I need that you argue. Are you saying they are Egyptians are white now? Chinese are people. They are white because they
Are
are
they
colored.
not white?
And
Question
ní nǹkan tó
Tinubu.
classify wọn sí nìyẹn
That is
sẹ́.
not true, mom, madam. I'm not so buying more now.
Okay, who are they?
That is not true.
Okay, are they?
Nǹkan
Who
tó
are they?
classify wọn sí
Are they
nìyẹn.
brown or what?
Baba,
Whether you like it or not.
white.
Any
White is
Jailings, who are white?
They're
Any calm
exclusively
down.
Europe.
White.
Baba, European America, they are not classified as white. China
Okay,
is not white.
Any Jailings, are the European white?
Closer.
Are the European white?
Europeans, they are white. They are the one that claiming white.
Are they white or pink?
Bro, with narrative. Are you talking about the skin color?
Are they white? The truth is, are they white or pink?
Is a race.
No.
It's not about you now, Baba.
No.
Engagement
with you. Ask questions, you answer the question directly, you make explanation, not say conversation flow with the way you respond. Say now, I want any
Mr. Jennings, jọ̀ọ́ calm down. Ẹ má gbọ́ question nítorí pé fẹ́ down. Dandan kọ́ ni kẹ́ kọ́rọ̀ wa rò. Bọ̀ mo kàn wò pé ẹni sùúrù. Nǹkan tí mo ní kẹ́ má ṣe gan lẹ́tún tí. Uncle Jennings, àgbàlagbà ni yín now. Nǹkan tí mo ní kẹ́ má ṣe tí mo ń bẹ̀ yín fún náà lẹ́tún sáré ṣe ń sìn ẹ̀. Calm down. Ẹ má gbọ́ question nítorí pé ẹ fẹ́ counter. Bàbá mi, ìmọ̀ òtán gbogbo wa ń kọ́gbọ́n lójoojúmọ́ ni. Ẹ ṣe open heart yín kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ open mind yín kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ down normal kẹ́ má kàn wò ní pé mo kàn fẹ́ máa ẹ má ṣe nítorí pé ẹ fẹ́ máa defend ẹ̀ ń counter ẹ má ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ lè má gbọ́ kò sẹ́ni tó máa mú yín sí ibọ̀ ẹ má gbẹ listen kẹ́ gbọ́ question dáadáa kẹ́ tó down. Bàbá mi ẹ jọ̀ọ́ now ẹ ṣeun.
ẹ ṣeun gan, mo tẹ̀ tí lùsì nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ ṣe gan.
Ẹ ṣeun mà, ẹ ṣeun.
Àti Big Joe ṣẹlẹ̀ engage the Jailings.
Èmi ní kékeré fẹ́ bí wọn ò tán bá ti ready.
Ẹ yá ẹ béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn ẹ jọ.
Mr. Jennings.
Before you ask a question, please. I'm also saying please. Wait. What is obtainable? The right thing for me to let you have your way, I should just accept that the wrong thing is the right thing. Go and check online and see. The skin color of a white man is pink, just like Akara is saying, but you don't call them pink. Is there any pink race? Unless you want me to just be conceding to what you are saying as if I'm not learned, I'm not educated. I will do that for you, because now I think project me as the one that is. I'm being projected as the one that is.
Jailings. Nobody is white. Nobody is black. It's a social construct, and according to them, the Arabs, they are white. The Arab are pink. They are not what the European call them. The Chinese, they are also pink. Everybody are pink. There's nobody white. There's nobody black in this world. Now, as long as let me talk.
All shades of brown. Everybody in the world are all shades of brown, Akaragun. We are all shades of brown.
And so, why are you telling me somebody is white, somebody is black, when we know that you know what white is? I'm suffering social construct. Who are white? The European are white. Because they say they are white. Ancestor any so in content is not correct. I'm trying to give you a point that nobody is white and nobody is black. And Egyptians, you mentioned a statement. According to history, the ancient people that they came in and the other 4 tribes, so don't make up Egypt, the ancient Egypt, they are black. And you said there is no story or history of how pyramid were built. No, there is story of history. The history was concealed by the Arabs and the Roman Catholics. Why? Because it will glorify and uplift black people as superior. And this is one of the reasons when you get to Egypt, all the statues won't cut imu because imu won't be the Igbo. So they need to remove their nose. They want to destroy that, so they refuse to destroy because, okay, they now remove their nose so they can claim it. So the black people knows, as of Tebason history, the history of Moses is not in Egypt in any document. And they always document their history. All the pharaoh were documented, the names of the pharaoh, from the beginning to the end. And there's no assistant of Israelites in Egypt. So if you are claiming this thing is not available in Egypt, history of Moses does not exist in Egypt too. Or even history of Joseph does not exist in Egypt. So killing content, so them got more the correct thing. You're just talking defensively. It doesn't make intellectual conversation about me. So answers for Egbon's okay.
So I like the fact that you have successfully projected that I am the one claiming that these people I'm the one enforcing whiteness on them, even though their skin color is not white. It's fine if you say it. Social construct, yeah, that is how the world is. And the winner is the one who determines who writes history. That is the world. That is how the world is. Now I am the one enforcing whiteness on a white man. That's the kind of projection that is very laughable. Nobody, for example, black is a race now. Black America is their ethnicity. That's that. See, anyways, no problem. You are right. I'm wrong. I can move on. Next speaker. Any Arab they are considered white.
white ni.
No, the way Akara is able to successfully make it like I'm trying to force a white man to be, even though his skin is a pink color.
Wọ́n correct yín ni wípé nǹkan tí social construct tí wọ́n gbé fún wọn nìyẹn, ṣẹ́yìn lẹ gbé fún wọn ni. Tẹ̀fín sọ pé wọ́n force yín pé yín ni wọ́n make yín sọ pé yín ni ẹ̀ ń pè wọ́n ní white. No. Nǹkan tó pera wọn nìyẹn. Nǹkan tó pera wọn kọ́ la máa pè wọ́n ni.
Ancestor ma, is Yoruba not a social construct?
Jailings, that's
how life is now. Is that not how it is?
A conversation.
If lọ yẹn, ẹ má jẹ́ ta sí yín o, Jailings.
No,
báwo ni Yorùbá ti jẹ́ social construct? Báwo ni mo fẹ́ bèrè akàgbẹ́ má bínú Jailings? Kíni báwo ni Yorùbá ti jẹ́ social construct? Mo fẹ́ bí yín.
That's a very good question. Where 2 or 3 people gathered, we will choose our name and we will form our culture.
We did not choose our name. Yoruba has a meaning. If you don't know, we know.
Yes, now it's not the same thing. Okay.
It was not invention by any foreigner.
I'll take it off. I'll take it back. Social construct. If a social construct is going to cause controversy, I will take it off.
What you call a social construct, what you call a social construct is not a definitive name that the people are conscious about. As you and me here right now, when they call us blacks, that's a social construct because I am not black.
Exactly.
When they say white, that's a social construct. But you cannot say Yoruba, Chinese, French is a social construct. That is who they are. That's what they define who they are.
Correct. You are right. You are right. You are very correct. You are very correct. Is Omoluabi a social construct?
So,
Mr. King, could you please help me out there?
Jailings, nobody can prove that the Egyptians take the Israelites as slaves. Nothing. Unless you can prove that the Israelites are taking the Palestinians as slaves right now. Can you prove that?
Akara. Let me take a deep breath.
Are they taking any rule now? Are the Palestinians being taken as slaves by the Israelites? Simple question.
This is an ambiguous statement. It's not like that. They're not taken as.
Oh
They are
yeah,
not
tell me
slaves.
how it is, sir. Explain to me, sir.
Palestinians are not slaves in Israel, in the land of Israel. But right now they are being stiffened. The narrative, all of us, everybody will put the narrative any way they feel, and it will make sense.
Okay, now are Palestinians fighting the Israelites back? Why are they fighting back?
Yes, they are fighting. They are fighting each other.
Why?
Because of the land.
Why?
Because of the territory.
Why are they fighting? How does it begin? Who accommodates who? Who is the owner of that land? Is it Palestine?
So now,
no, any suru, who owns that land? Is it Palestine or Israel?
Baba,
I'm going
to discuss. Wait, let me respond to you.
You can explain.
Mr. Jennison.
Ancestor any suru.
Ancestor to first of
I want to understand the view about deep in thinking. Who owns that land? Talo nile historically, traditionally.
The response to this question is
fair response.
As long wait, calm down now. There is no yes or no to this question.
No.
Timeline.
Tell me. Traditionally, who owns that land? Who owns that land? That is a direct question. Not
that question does not have a direct answer. Why? Palestine has been there for a long.
Mm-hmm. So
however,
who owns the land?
Israel, calm down now. However, Israel was displaced from the land and scattered over the land from that same land.
Israel was never in that land, according to history.
Israel was
Israel.
That is not true now.
Okay, yeah, so for me, when which place was Israelite in that land?
Baba, I will now tell you that even Palestine does not have any historical, archaeological artifacts in that land. Even though they have been on that land. Hold on now. We are all educated now. Hold on, sir. Exactly,
Baba,
so
why are you disingenuous?
When Akikoju corrected me, I admit.
Jealous, wait. Why are you Christians and every when we talk about Egypt, jealous. We talk about Egypt. You said Egypt were Israelite were slaves in the Israelite was slave. Àwọn ẹrú ni wọ́n ní Egypt. Asòfin kẹfún wa ní bó ṣe jẹ́ ẹrú ẹ sọ pé they migrated because they are hungry. They went for food. They saw their brother has climbed up to the prime of to the position of prime minister and they decided to stay. Even Joseph gave them a settlement. Joseph give them a big settlement to create another nation, but outside Egypt. That is what Joseph did to them. So they have a land of their own in Egypt that they settled. And we said, okay, how did they become slaves? You don't give me any evidence. I now ask you the same question. Are Palestine or Israelites slaves? According to history, after World War, in Germany, the Zionist people, they decided to negotiate with America to defeat the Germany. They will sponsor, they will give the money, they will buy everything they need. So they have to give them a land which is going to be called Israel. The people of Europe, they propose African country. They say it can never be claimed scripturally. Torah, they cannot use Torah to claim that land. They needed a place they can use Torah to claim. Then they negotiated with the Palestinians. Okay. These people are war refugees. Please let them come to the land. They eat and they can run away from mass murder. And they went to Angola or Uganda to bring a fertile land with sheep, which they can use to farm in there, because that land was the land the Palestinians are what to them.
Uganda, what a Uganda.
This is the history. Don't be looking at this, now. Now they brought the land. The land they give the Palestinians give to them were no fertile then. They don't, because we have limited technologies to know about some language. Now the Zionists, they settled in that land, accommodated because of their refugees of war. They went to that land. Historically, Philistines, that Goliath fought. Goliath is from, is also part of present day